What's up guys, it's Sam here, and today I'm doing a bit of a video that's a bit different to what we usually do. So we're not going to be talking about the financial markets, we're not going to be talking about crypto. I'm doing a video basically about what it's like living in Cork and renting an apartment and how much you're spending in three different scenarios. So if you're living with four other people, you're living by yourself, you're living as a couple. So it's just going to cover a few different areas and just going to show you how much you should be possibly saving, how much you should be investing, and seeing what you come out with at the yearly total. So the average wage, I think probably for someone around between 23 to 25 that's renting is roughly 28k. Which is take home roughly around €2,000 a month. So we're just going to go through various different scenarios and we'll see exactly where the money is going, how much you can save, how much you can invest, and what you come out with in the total, and just a rough estimate on a couple of the costs that you will occur, whether you have a car, whether you don't. So this is just a rough estimate. I know there's a lot of expenses that people get that they don't see coming. I'm not really accounting for them kind of things, just so you're aware, but it gives you a rough idea of how much it is to live in Cork City when living out of home as well. So remember guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully you'll find a lot of value in this if you're planning to come to Cork or already here already. It might assist you with some of your budgeting kind of skills. And remember just to have a look at our description. Remember to get some free Bitcoin with BlockFi, Nexo, all the links are down below. And remember to check out our sponsor, which is 35mm Vintage. We'll have his link down below as well. So alright guys, let's get straight on with the video and we'll find out what's going on in Cork City. Right, so the first scenario that we're going to look at is if you're sharing a room in a 4-bedroom house and you're kind of splitting bills between four people, and that's just the first situation I'm going to look at. So the average rent, if you're looking at a house like that, you're probably looking averagely around €475 per month. Electricity bills split between four people, possibly up and around 20, Wi-Fi 15, and if you join a gym and you go there regularly, something probably around €45 a month. So that's something I'll just keep consistent between all of the scenarios that I have. Your phone bill is probably in and around €20 a month as well. So that brings your total bills to around 575. So just rent and just utilities, gym, Wi-Fi, all that kind of stuff is around €575. So here, if you have a car, you're probably going to be looking at around 150 averagely for fuel every month. If you're getting insurance at the age of around 24 to 25, you're looking at 83. So this is going to be consistent as well between all three scenarios. So 150 on fuel, 83 for insurance, and that just brings it to a total of like €1,000 a year for your insurance, because I think it's probably averagely, depending on your situation, it's probably what it is. And so that brings a total so far of 880. So your food expenses are roughly going to be around €200 a month. So that brings the total bill to €1,008. Then you've probably got some sort of subscription services. You've probably got Netflix, Disney Plus, alternatives to that as well. So I'm giving a rough subscription services at around €39 a month. So your total bills with a car is 1,047, which leaves your remaining income after bills at 954. And if you didn't have a car, I'm going to say you take that expense out of there, it's roughly going to be around €60 a month if you're getting buses everywhere, depending on where you're going. If you're going further away, I'm just going to get a rough estimate at around €60 a month. So that would leave you with 874 as the total bills. So when you minus the 2,000 from your bills, the total remaining after bills is 954 if you have a car, and without a car is 1,127. So this scenario is pretty good for people. Basically, you've still got around 50% of your income left after all of your bills, expenses, your food for the month. You've still got around 50% of your income left. So like what I've kind of proposed is to save 20% of the remaining free cash. So you're not taking 20% of your overall salary, 20% of your remaining free cash after bills and expenses. So if you save the 20% remaining with a car, you are saving 191 per month, and without a car, 225. Then you invest 15% of the remaining income. With a car, it's 143. Without a car, 169 a month. So then it leaves you with free cash to spend on whatever you want every month of 594 with a car, and without a car of 759. So this situation is pretty good. So you've got a nice bit of free cash to play with. You can kind of enjoy yourself. You can go to the pub, you can go to restaurants, you can eat out, you can do things like that because you've got a bit of free cash to play with. So the total cash at the end of the year with a car, if you save, you have saved around 2,292 euros, and if you invested roughly with a 10% return, just averagely of the S&P 500, you would have a total of 1,887 invested, which would give you a total at the end of the year of 4,179 euro, which is not too bad. It's pretty okay. After all your expenses, you're still having a nice bit of cash to play with. You're probably enjoying yourself, and you've got a nice bit to fall back on just at the end of the year. So total cash without a car, so saved, you'd have a total of 2,700 saved, and the amount that's invested would be 2,230, bringing you a total of 4,930 euros for the year, which is probably nearly the best scenario financial wise that we're going to go over. But not having the car in Ireland, everyone knows that it is a bit of a hindrance if you don't have a car. It's very, very annoying to get anywhere. So yeah, that's just one thing to consider, but it is the best financial wise. And I think the one with the car and with around 4,179 euros at the end of the year is probably the second best scenario that we're going to be going over in this video. So right, let's get on to the bedsit. Right, so the second scenario we have is living in a bedsit. So bedsits in Cork City are generally pretty expensive, and especially if you're trying to manage this on a 28k salary and 2,000 take home. So you'll see it now just as we go through it. So the rent that you're averagely going to be paying, it varies between 800 to 1,100 a month. So we'll averagely do it at around 950. Your electricity is probably going to be around 50 euros a month because it's going to be just one room and just basic electricity stuff if you're running a PlayStation TV, all that kind of stuff. So you just kind of have to be aware of that's how much it's going to cost you. Wi-Fi, you're paying the full whack by yourself at 45 euros. If you're joining the gym, you're paying 45 euros as well. Phone bill is 20 euros on top of that. So your total bills are 1,110 before you've even kind of gotten into the car and food. So if you've got a car, again, you're going to be adding on the 150 for fuel, 80, like another 233 to the bill, and food expenses of around 200 as well, and the subscription services of 39 euros. So the total bills with a car is 1,572. Without a car is 1,409. So the income remaining after bills with a car is 419 euro. Without a car, total remaining is 592. So if you went around the same philosophy of investing 20% of the remaining free cash, with a car, you'd be putting 83 euros into savings and you'd be investing 62 euros. Without a car, you would be saving 118 euros, and without a car, you would be investing 88 euros. So the free cash that is left after you do this bit of saving and investing with a car is 274 euros, and without a car, it is 386 euros. So you don't have much free cash there compared to people living in a shared house of 4 people. Your cash is very, very low, and the total cash that you will actually save if you are operating a car for the year is 996 euros. And if you invest the rest at a 10% return, it will be 818 to give you a total of 1,814 euros for the year of working. And that's just without anything that could possibly just pop up and take a huge amount of your money, looking at car repairs, all that kind of stuff. So this is a very limited amount of money to play with per year. And at the end of the year, if you don't have a car, have saved 1,416 euro and invested, if you invest at a 10% return, with 1,161. That will give you a total of 2,577. So you can see that this is significantly less than the people just living in a four bedroomed apartment. So living by yourself here is extremely expensive in Cork City, and it's not probably advisable for someone that's on 28,000 to be living with the 950 euros of rent per month. It's absolutely crazy. It's just not feasible. You're way better off to be living in a shared accommodation and bringing that rent cost down, because you really don't have a lot to go on here. Like, you're going to be living paycheck to paycheck, and it's just not the best situation for yourself. So look, this one for me, I completely would rule it out if you're on a 28k basic, and maybe you're looking at the other one. So the final situation I'm going to be looking at is actually if you're living in a couple, and this situation kind of gets nearly the best of both worlds, and you'll see now how the figures do reflect that. Right, so a couple sharing in Cork City, they're probably going to be looking at like a one-bedroom apartment with a kitchen, maybe a different living room, something like that. It's never going to be a huge amount of space, but you're probably going to be looking at an average of around 1,300. So if you split that between two, you're probably looking at around 650 each, which is more expensive than the first, but it's significantly less than living by yourself. So electricity, you're probably going to be using a bit more with like heating and stuff, heating more rooms. Like, so I just put it down as an average around 50 euro each for the house. Wi-Fi around 20 to 25. The gym again would be 45 averagely each. Your phone bill would be 20. So that brings us total household bills and rent to 785. So the same with the car, 223, and then food expenses roughly around 200 each per person. So that brings you as well with Netflix, that kind of stuff, an additional 39. So the total bills with a car are 1,257, without a car 1,084. So the remaining income after bills with if you have a car, so you have 743 euros remaining. Without a car, it'd be 916 euros remaining. So if you save 20% of the remaining free cash, you'll be putting in 148 euros a month if you have a car, and you'll be investing 111. So without a car, you'll be saving 183 a month, and you'll be investing 137. So that leaves you with a free cash every month with a car of around 484 euros just to kind of spend on whatever you want. Without a car, you'd be left with around 596. So this is a lot better than the previous situation inside the Bedsit. It's more expensive than living with 4 different people, but you probably do get the best of both worlds here. You've got your own bit of independence. You're not living in a house with those different people, but it is more expensive than doing that. And look, at the end of the year, you will have, say if you have a car, you will have saved 1,776, and if you invested a 10% return, the remainder you have 1,465, bringing you to a total of 3,241. And the total end year of cash without a car would be 2,196. Saved and invested at 10% return be 1,880 to a total of 4,004 euro. So this is basically, it meets in the middle. The Bedsit is way too expensive to be living in this wage. The best situation to have as much money as possible would be to be living with 4 people in your house and kind of sticking to this and investing 15% and saving 20% of your wage. Not the overall wage, but the remaining free cash that you have after bills, to just kind of give yourself a nice life. You'd be able to enjoy yourself to the most, instead of kind of scraping by living in a Bedsit. And then the couples one, you have slightly less cash than you do if you're living in a house of 4, but it does give you that bit of independence. So like living in Cork City, it's not the cheapest place to live and to live out of home. It is expensive, and like, if you're earning 2,000 a month, like, you're never going to be getting to the point where you can save lots of money, and living out of home on that wage is going to be quite difficult. With budgeting and for unforeseen different fees that you might come across, like you might have to go to the doctors, you might have health insurance, you have repairs to your car, you have all them kind of things that can pop up, like you tax, all that sort of stuff. Like, that's just all brought into running a car. So like, you have to consider all these kind of things as well. Like, so yeah, look, it's an expensive place. It's an expensive place to live. The living fees are quite high, so it's just something to consider. And look, that's just what it is at the moment. Like with rents going up, electricity going up in price, like it's always getting more and more expensive at the moment. So look, guys, I hope this helped. If you're looking to move to Cork, you already live in Cork, something you can maybe consider getting into your own budgeting, saving 20% of your remaining income and investing 15%, and this kind of gives you like a nice average that they come in and around the same. So look, guys, if you like kind of videos like this, looking at the cost of living in places, we'd be looking to do more. And of course, I live out of home in Cork City myself, so I kind of are very familiar with this one. So look, thanks guys for watching the video. Remember to check out all of our links down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps out an awful lot. And also just remember to check out all the links to BlockFi, Nexo, and check out 35mm vintage as well. So thanks guys, and see you in the next one.